And now, live from Pod Cabin in Burbank, California, it's the Allison Rosen is Your New Best Friend show. Tonight, Allison welcomes your guest. He's a man who has settled down in Georgia, where he can be found fixing up his house and gaslighting the local deer population. It's hashtag Al. And she's a comedian and unofficial ambassador of Skittles. It's Jenna Kim Jones. Tone Zone is here to provide necessary pushback to Allison's disturbing pro-road propaganda. I'm her husband, Daniel, saying hop on board the love bus and say hello to your best friend, Allison Rosen.
Allison Rosen. Allison Rosen is your new best friend. Allison, with her good times never end. Allison Rosen, doing the wavy pencil dance again. Allison Rosen. Allison's your new best friend.
Hello, my little sugar sausages. Welcome to another exciting episode of Allison Rosen is Your New Best Friend. That particular carb was sent in on Patreon. By me. I've never chosen myself before in all the years I've been addressing people as carbs. And now you might think sugar sausage. A, what is that? And we'll get into that because there's a specific reason that I chose my own carb. And B, is it a carb? No, but it's got sugar in it and it's in the title. We'll get into that. But yes, I am on Patreon, all sorts of bonus stuff. There are bonus episodes of The Friend Zone. That's my Patreon podcast. I just did an incredibly juicy Ask Me Anything episode. And then I also did a fun Ask Me Anything in the comments thing today. And then there is a level where you can text me and I'll text you back. You can see videos of the Thursday Gang, for example. You could see me talking right now with my hands. And I'm not just doing that for you. I just feel, who just snorted? Tony, was that you?
No, I would
believe
never.
It was Tony.
I think you snort laughed, and it is befitting your new glasses, no offense, which we'll get to. And you know what? We're going to get to the glasses. Another snort. What's happening? Are they pinching your nose? We're going to get to the glasses, and you're going to find yourself listening, and you're going to be like, I need to see these glasses. One picture is not sufficient. Hence, patreon.com/Allison Rosen. If you go for an annual subscription, you get 2 months free.
That's a good deal.
And then, since I'm doing the hard sell at the top, I just need to undermine myself entirely by saying I now have another Patreon as well. Upworthy Weekly.
What?
I know. Upworthy Weekly has been sunset, which is a nice way of saying put out to pasture. However, Todd and I are like, no, we love working together, so we're going to continue. It's now moved over. It's a Patreon podcast. There's only one tier, $2 a month, because who can't afford $2 a month? If you're interested in that, patreon.com/Allison and Todd. Allison with one L, Todd with one D. It's our parents' fault. Okay. We had nothing to do with the way our names are spelled. Anyway, enough of that. I'm so excited to welcome to the show fan favorites. You know them. You love them. Jenna Kim Jones and Alan Moss. Hello.
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 So good to see you. Also, hello, Tony Thaxton.
Hi.
Woo. Okay. Now you might be thinking, where's Daniel? He's inside the house. He was going to join us. However, one of the questions that I answered on the big Patreon Ask Me Anything, 2 different people were like, what is it exactly that Daniel does? I know that you've mentioned it before, but like, what is it? And it was a real test of whether I know what he does. For a long time, I didn't exactly, but here's what I can say. When his bosses need a report from him, they need it stat. And that's why we were late to the wrestling show, which I am still hearing about. And that is why he's not here right now, because it's like his boss's boss's boss. That's a bit of a big fish story, because before the show started, I told Jenna and Al, Daniel's not here because his boss's boss needs something. And then suddenly that guy just got a promotion. And I don't know. It's just like the big shot.
Right.
Bosses have to get what bosses want. That's the rule.
I know.
Like a
so
douche.
Daniel is deep in his reports and spreadsheets and doing the number. Ooh, don't we have a doing the numbers drop? Do you have that one, Tony?
Not that I'm aware of, but at least.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I
again,
used the numbers.
look, I know you want these drops, but again, I was given a sea of drops, and it's to come in. I know I'm several years in at this point, but to come in.
You're 5 years in, Tony.
I
Go ahead.
know, but it is an insane amount of drops, and to not have been a part, I feel like it's a little easier when you were a part of it and you like know they're there and everything.
I love it. Are these glasses are making you a little defensive, and I love it. You know what it is? What restaurant has like the biggest menu in the world? Cheesecake Factory.
Definitely.
It's like, but it's more than that. It's like, you can't be expected to have tried every single thing on the Cheesecake Factory menu.
No, but on top of that, know what page that item is on in the menu. Because that's the other thing is I have to be able to like, wait, where is this? I got to find it.
Okay, do you have searching ability of this menu? Or is it on a different drive?
Well, not on like the soundboard.
Right.
Al, do you remember the numbers drop? Could you do it live?
I think it was like I'm good at do's the numbers. Or I do.
It was like doozing the numbers or something.
I do's the numbers.
Yes,
something like
thank
that.
you.
Yeah.
Something like that. All right. We have so much to get to. Let's just first address the thing that has changed Tony's personality. What's going on with the glasses? Please fill us in, because I've never seen you wear glasses, and I like it.
Thanks. No, I have terrible eyes. I always wear contacts.
I never knew.
Yeah. No, my vision is absolutely terrible. And but I wear contacts so regularly that I just hadn't updated any glasses in literally over a decade. And so I had to get an exam recently, and I was like, you know what? I think it's finally time I update some glasses. And I finally got them today, and I literally maybe like an hour before the show, and decided to try them on, and they were so different than my previous old glasses. It was very jarring. Like at first I thought literally something was wrong. Like I was seeing double of everything. And
oh, geez.
I had to really adjust. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to keep these on. It got better as time went on. And so I was like, I'll keep them on and try and just get a little more used to them. So
Do you desire to wear glasses?
I don't, not necessarily, but I don't mind them. But my eyes are so used to contacts, and that's like a weird thing that, does anybody wear contacts here?
Oh yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. I got a new pair of glasses like a year or two ago, and when I first put them on, I thought, am I insane?
Yeah.
What is this? Like the world looked different. Everything was kind of wonky.
Yep.
So I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. It feels like you're like, if you could like walk around the world, if you're literally like everything feels curved.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are they progressives?
No.
Huh. Because I know that progressives can give like a curvature to things.
No, well, it's just, and also my vision is so bad so they're like very strong. So like I had to like pay extra to get the like lenses made thinner. But I haven't had new glasses in so long. And when you wear contacts, you can turn your eyes in every direction and see perfectly, but glasses aren't quite like that. So it's taking a little getting used to.
I really want to wear glasses, but I'm afraid I'm not known as a person with glasses.
And you're afraid that I'll do what I'm doing to Tony to you.
Exactly. Like it'll take weeks for people to get used to it.
Yeah, I was like, I'll just keep them on. But I definitely considered not keeping them on because I knew this is exactly what was going to happen.
I did it once because I used to travel on the road all the time, as people know, and I went back to the office, and I just was tired. I just worn out, and so I thought, I'm going to wear my glasses to the office. This will be great. And I was like in my cubicle working, and my boss swung by, and he said, "Why are you making a spectacle of yourself?"
Oh God!
I did not register that I was wearing glasses, and I was embarrassed. And I thought, did I make a mistake? And he's like, "Why are you being such a spectacle?" And I'm like, what is happening? And it was one of the most awkward interactions. And then he was like, he's not getting it. Oh, I'm embarrassed. It was like, just go to your office. I'll stay in my cube. I'll go back on the road. We won't talk for 6 minutes.
Did he ever make contact with you after?
Like, oh, so bad.
Okay, so everyone here except for me wears contacts.
Yeah.
But Jenna, you're the kind of person who switches into glasses like at night, right? Or no?
Yes, I wear glasses at night, in the morning. I hate them, but I wear them. The thing about glasses is I feel the same way as Al. Like, boy, these are so cute. And you see girls who look cute in glasses, and
Yes.
you're like, I want to be
Lisa
that
Loeb.
cute girl. Like, look at that cute girl. And then I put them on, and like, I'll commit to wearing them all day. And about 3 hours in, I'm like, this is terrible. They're all over the place. They're bugging the back of my ears. It becomes a whole thing. And then I'm like, get me back in the contacts. I can't take it anymore.
Do you find
So
are
you
you
guys-
so used to
go
the
ahead.
contacts that sometimes if I try to wear glasses, it's like a mental thing where I can't wake up. Like if I start my day like just by wearing the glasses for a long time, I'm like, I need to put the
Yes.
contacts in to like
Yeah.
feel normal.
I'm not a person yet.
Yeah.
They're shoes for your eyes. 'Cause
Exactly.
we know Tony has to put on shoes to feel like he's going about his day. I, just to fully delve into the hot topic of glasses, I do have a pair of progressives. I know I'm way too young for them, but still, they made them for me.
Wow.
And yes, they say it takes like, has anyone here tried progressives?
No.
Probably no one else needs them. Okay. They say it takes like a week of wearing them constantly for your brain to adjust. Because the thing is, like, the top portion has one prescription and the bottom is for reading, which the glasses that I wear normally are for reading. But I also now am at the point where I use them for the computer sometimes. And apparently that's like another pair of glasses you can get, like a middle vision. I don't know. But anyway, so I had them put nothing in the top because I don't really yet. I only need a slight amount of distance, but I had them just make nothing in the top, reading at the bottom, so they like gradually, so that I could wear my reading glasses. I know, I'm sorry. So I wear my reading glasses all the time. But anyway, long story short, I cannot commit to more than like 20 minutes at a time in them, so I will never get used to them.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I just, what you guys are talking about, except I imagine it's probably less for me because it's not a strong prescription, but like I can't stand feeling like, I feel like I'm looking into the back of a spoon, but right side up all the time. Like everything is a little wavy.
Yeah.
And I don't
Yeah.
want to deal with the wave.
I get it. I just want to get surgery, LASIK, but I
Oh.
am also scared of that. So
Did-
I haven't committed to anything, and yeah.
Past a certain age, but I don't know what age it is. I've heard you're not even supposed to get LASIK because your eyes will change.
Right.
But it
So
might
now-
be, it's either 40 or 50. I know you're younger than both of those, but
Yeah,
Barely.
last time I went to the eye doctor, she was like, "You're a perfect candidate," and I was like, "Thank
Ooh.
you." And then, but she's like, "But do it now because you're gonna have another change like in 10 years. You want to do this and that." And then I was like, "Whatever, I don't care anymore."
Then he was
'Cause it
like,
was, like-
lasers in my eye?
Yeah, I thought it was like a permanent thing, and she's like, "Just wait." I'm like, "Okay, whatever." There's like a change that happens at 42 or something. I don't know.
yes. But Tony, you have not, have your eyes gotten better?
Both. One of them has gotten better and one got worse. They're both terrible, but like, yeah, if these numbers mean anything to you, literally like one of them is like a -3 and the other one's a -7.
Oh my!
I don't
goodness.
even know
Wow.
what that means.
Yeah, it's just the
Mine
number,
are both
the numbers in the
negative
prescription.
5.5.
What's that?
Whoa.
Mine are both negative 5.5.
That's what mine were like around that. They were both pretty close, and then
Yeah.
suddenly now they're like this huge difference. Yeah.
That is wild. Huh.
Can you drum
Have you
with them
got-
on? Have you tried drumming with your
Ooh,
glasses
good
on?
question.
I have tried in the past, but I don't like it because just gets super sweaty and
Sweaty.
just,
You're
yeah,
all
it's
fogged
not-
up.
Yeah, exactly. Not
You have to
ideal.
put on one of those things that the kids in elementary
Yeah, the
school had to
croquis.
keep their glasses
Yeah, you
on.
got to put some Lex specs, some athletic specs when you drum.
Okay, so let's delve into sugar sausage. I was just listening to the most recent episode of Couple Friends, that is Jenna and Al's podcast, which was very entertaining. And you're talking about Super Bowl snacks. And someone mentioned, what was the list you were reading from?
It was CBS Sports, people who work in their NFL group, giving their best Super Bowl snacks.
Okay, now someone mentioned sugar sausage, and then Al was like, Google sugar sausage. Be careful. Now, I need to know, were you making the joke that I thought you were making?
Well, I saw some things on Urban Dictionary, and I said, whoa, that's, because we're a family-friendly podcast.
Right.
So yeah, just
So then yes,
Google
you
with
were.
caution.
Yes, you were.
Yes. Yeah.
I enjoyed that because my mind is in the gutter.
Yes.
So anyway, what? It's like a sweet sausage?
This was the recipe read from, if I remember correctly, which it was just last night. So kielbasa in a crock pot, chopped up in a crock pot with a can of light beer and a bunch of brown sugar, and you just let it cook for a few hours.
I think that would be good,
I
actually.
think it would be really good.
I bet it's delicious. Or if you don't want to there it is. If you don't want to do beer, you can do Coca-Cola.
Now, I say we just get right into the snack chat because I do have a couple other things I wrote down from your podcast.
Okay.
Do you make your own black and white cookies, Jenna?
Mm-hmm.
How do you make the frosting that gets hard?
Wait, what?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I love black and white
It
cookies.
is a combination of a little bit of milk, corn syrup? No. Yeah. Is it
Yeah, it's corn syrup. Yeah.
Corn syrup, a little bit of milk, vanilla. It's really simple, actually. So what you do is you take the cookie and you flip it upside down after it's baked. And so you frost the flat side, which is a little easier. And what I'll do is you can either dip the whole thing in the white frosting and then just put the chocolate over half of it, or you can do half and half. But it took me a while. I got to be honest. I made them a few times before they were good. And I went through several recipes, and I found the best one is on Sally's Baking Addiction, I think is the website.
And
they are so good.
Do you do vanilla over the whole thing and then chocolate on half? Or because I feel like the ones, I didn't even know this was a thing you could make. Although, of course, it would be. But in my mind, this is just a thing you buy. And they're always very exact, half and half, exact with the line.
Right. And you'd be surprised because the frosty of the consistency with, I think because of the corn syrup, it goes on really smooth. It goes on straight. It's the weirdest thing. Once in a while, I'll mess it up and it's not as pretty. But I've gotten better at it. And we love Al and I, that's our favorite cookie. And we had them at our wedding, and we went to a bakery because we got married in Utah. And we went to a bakery in Utah, and they're like, we've never even heard of these. And I'm like,
what?
Well, you gotta make them. So they researched, and they made a whole bunch of different ones and had me taste them. And then I was like, I think this is the most accurate one. And then they made us 900 of them for our wedding.
Oh my gosh. Wait a minute. I have 900 questions to go with the 900 cookies. So you went to a bakery. They were unfamiliar with black and white cookies.
Yeah.
And instead of saying, okay, cool, bye, you're just no, you have to learn. Walk me through this, please.
Yeah. I just thought, well, don't you want to learn how to make a new cookie that no one in Utah is selling or serving? And they were like, well, I don't know, maybe. So I explained it to them. I told them about it. I showed them pop culture references. I told them that I was expanding their creative horizons. Okay.
You're like the wind beneath their wings.
I don't know if I did that much. So I think the lady was pretty nice. And she's like, yeah, we'll do that. That would be fun for us. So she figured it out. And they were amazing. We bought so many of them because we didn't do a wedding cake. So the cookie was our cake.
I didn't know you didn't do a wedding cake.
Yeah, we were like, we don't need
Did
tradition. Forget it.
Did you stack them in a fun way or anything?
No, we just had them laid out really pretty on these huge trays all over.
I love this.
They were beautiful. And then we ate black and white cookies for like a month after our wedding because we had too many.
The ones that they made a whole bunch of different ones, were any of them just like, oh, that one's definitely a dud?
Yeah. Like some of them tasted just like sugar cookies
Mhm.
or they were too hard. Because you want that like soft cakey, because it's really like
Yeah.
a cake cookie.
Mm-hmm.
And so they figured it out. And I think what you need is a recipe that has a lot of buttermilk in it. Because that's what I
Mhm.
use when I make it. And I think that makes it that like almost cake-like.
I'm always surprised that buttermilk is not a creamy, rich milk, but it tastes like milk with vinegar in it. And in fact, I've read, did you know this, Tony?
No.
Yeah. Before I just said what I said, what would you have guessed buttermilk was?
Yeah, kind of what you said, I think. Yeah, never really thought about it, to be honest. But yeah, I probably would have gone there.
Expand your mind,
I know.
Tony.
I don't spend a lot of time thinking about buttermilk, contrary to popular opinion.
I know. Wow. That's one of these things that everyone, it's a real Tony Thaxton misconception. Yeah, no, it's like if you are out of buttermilk, I think you can make a substitute by putting a tablespoon of vinegar in milk or something. It's
Lemon
when
juice?
you're making.
What?
Oh, it's lemon. It's so
Yeah.
it's so gross sounding to me. But I
Yeah.
guess when they make butter, buttermilk is the like residue or the milk that's left over after all the fat goes into the butter. And other stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, now we know. Okay, gun to your head. And I don't know why someone's putting a gun to your head over the following question. But gun to your head, are you eating the vanilla side or the chocolate side first? Because I'm going vanilla, and I don't even know if I'm finishing the chocolate side.
Vanilla is my favorite too.
Okay.
Always
The
have.
first-
And what?
The first bite's always right down the middle. The perfect balance
Oh.
of
Yeah, he
of
likes
chocolate
both.
and vanilla.
No, not for me.
So at the Donut Pub in New York on 14th Street, have you been there?
No, but everyone
That's
knows
where
I
they
did live in
have
New York.
The best black and white cookies, and you can actually have them mailed to your house. My friend shipped them to us. It was like the greatest day ever. Anyway, they have black and white cookies. They're huge, and they will do the normal black and white half and half, and then they'll just do vanilla and just chocolate for people who want just their favorite side.
It's like the opposite of getting half of something on like where you get toppings on just half the pizza.
Yeah,
It's the opposite of that.
Mhm.
Okay, so Al, you're fence sitting. Jenna, you're vanilla like me.
Yeah.
Tony, Mr. Black and White Cookie.
Yeah.
How do you do it?
I mean, I'm sort of with Al because I kind of love them both equally. But I guess if I really had to pick, I'd actually maybe go vanilla.
There's a gun to your head, Tony, remember?
Yeah,
I don't know why.
It's pretty hard to scare me, though. You know, it's
They don't want,
Those
there's a gun to your head.
glasses.
They don't want your gold record. They don't want your drums
No.
or other rare, bizarre albums you might have. They don't want your dog, which Frenchies go for quite a bit on the black market, is my
yeah. This sounds
understanding.
like a foolish move on their part.
They don't want any of your stereo equipment. They just want to know vanilla or chocolate.
All right, give me the vanilla.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just, you know what? The glasses, he's intellectual. It's like he's got professor
Thank you.
vibes, you know?
Thank
Yes. Your professor, are there patches on your AEW hoodie? And I don't mean like cool band patches. I mean like, elbow patches.
No, I
Patches.
gotcha. I
Yeah.
so wish I could pull them up and have something there, but
That would be
yes,
amazing.
People just listening, yes.
All right. And then my last snack chat question, but really we'll probably get back to snack chat. Jenna, you mentioned your favorite brownie is Ghirardelli triple chocolate.
Yeah.
And boy, I was hard pressed to figure out where that third bit of chocolate is coming from. Because I figure chocolate in the brownie, there's
point.
probably chocolate chips. Where's the third?
I think it's different kinds of chocolate chips. So you have milk chocolate, semi-sweet, maybe even a dark in there. I'm telling you, they are the best brownies. They're only at Costco. I mean, they have Ghirardelli brownies at the grocery store, but I've never seen the triple. But I've seen double chocolate. I've seen other kinds of Ghirardelli at the store. Costco has like a special deal where they get the good ones. And I'm telling you, the best.
I think it's because of you. Ooh, from snack chat to gal chat. I think it's because of you that I tried the Kirkland brand shampoo and conditioner. Were you
Not bad.
one?
Gal chat.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Not
Affordable Yeah, it's in my kids' bathroom. And then I was looking, and like I think they claim, the people who do blogs about this, that it's Pureology, I think, right? Which is a very expensive brand.
I know. My hair stylist is very passionate about my hair, and he wants me to only use Pureology. And I'm like, yeah, I'll use that on special occasions, and then I'll use my Costco.
Yeah. Well, it might be the same thing.
That's the thing.
Wow. Wait, how do you know that your stylist is passionate about your hair? Because you said that, and I was like, wait, is mine passionate about my hair? Like, I think he likes to do it when I come in with my credit card, but I don't know if I feel that he's passionate about it.
I feel like my hairstylist and I have a unique bond and friendship.
Just
and
go,
he's
girl.
also Al's hairstylist, and I think Al can attest to this, that he and I are like very good friends. And I feel like he's invested in my hair. Like he and I, we talk about it. He helps me. He's kind of a hair guru.
What? Wow.
Yeah.
He definitely is. He definitely is. We grew up in like the same town and like in the suburb of Chicago randomly. And so he knows
he
like my childhood basically. Yeah, it's really, really weird. And he knows hair really well. Like I didn't even tell him what to do. I just walked in all crazy like post COVID, and he was like, "What's up?" and just went to work.
Like Edward Scissorhands?
Yeah.
Al's hair has never looked better.
Are you still doing a 3-in-1 body wash for your hair?
I'm like doing the Costco now. I feel like I need to be a little more picky and choosy of
he's
like,
gotten to
body
you.
wash and all that stuff. But
So-
I did go back like a couple months ago and I used it because we were like vacationing somewhere or something, and I bought it, and I did genuinely miss it. I was like, this is wonderful. The efficiency,
The 3-in-1.
the feel, it was amazing. So I do miss it.
So wait, now you're using Costco on your hair. What are you using on your body? A 2-in-1?
No, I have like an
Spice.
Old Spice something or other.
Once
They
in a while,
have
I
me
use
locked and
Al's
loaded.
body wash, and it's so weird. It's like, whoa, I smell like Al. Wow, this is weird.
Yeah.
Is it a manly scent?
Yeah, I think it's called like Denali or something, or like Face Punch. I don't know. It's like very. It feels really good. And Jenna is very sensitive to smells, so I'm hesitant to change things up so that she doesn't think that there's a stranger in her house or she finds me less attractive.
I will admit that my nose is like annoyingly sensitive. It bothers me. But he he'll change deodorants and he'll walk by me and I'm like, "What? Who are you? What's happened to my husband?"
Where have you been? I'm like, okay, I just was in the bathroom. I took a shower. That's all.
So do you have like you feel threatened by it a little bit?
Yeah, because I'm like, what? It's like almost jarring
Right.
because
okay.
it's,
Yes. No, go ahead. I feel like I
it's
talked over you.
horrible. Like, what? You've changed. I don't know anything about you anymore.
Yes. Okay. I've experienced this twice, not with Daniel, but when I want to say like 8 or 9, my mom, who had always dressed and I think I might have mentioned this, but it was years ago. She always dressed a particular way. She dressed like a sort of conservatively dressed 80s mom. So we're talking like a gold rope chain with an S on it, a blouse that was up to her neck that had like a bow, maybe like a long skirt, fashionable, like a different purse for each outfit.
Cool
She had
as fuck.
Yeah, fashionable. And like 80s makeup as well. She went to this guy who was like a makeup artist and he gave her special makeup, and it was like, maybe a little too much contour, a little too much blush, and like kind of dark lipstick, but fashionable for the time.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Then, I don't know, this woman came into our life. Jenna, have you heard me tell this story?
No,
I
but
feel like maybe I told it. I feel like the last time I told it was probably when we were still with the Bobo Boys. So many years ago.
Maybe. Uh-huh.
But this woman came into her life who was, I don't know if she was a true stylist or if she was like on the side, she's a stylist. She had an accent, and I just remember her putting my mom in different outfits and being like, ooh, my mom's name is Shelly. Like, oh, Shelly, that one is so sexy. And I was just like, I hate this. And suddenly my mom was showing cleavage. And I look back, and I remember my dad bought her this outfit, and I was just like, my parents have lost their fucking mind. Excuse my language. But the funny thing is the outfit was not, like, it was... yellow leggings and an oversized knit yellow jacket that went with it. It was not particularly revealing, but I was just like, who? You guys used to be my sensible parents, and now everyone is having a midlife crisis. I don't recognize you. You're showing cleavage. I feel I need my mom back.
Right. It's a violation. Okay.
Thank you. Yes. No one, people can't just go changing their scent or their outfits without letting you know this doesn't mean I'm leaving you. I think that was the fear.
How old was she at that time?
So my mom was 24 when she would have been like 33, 34.
I get that. That's like when you're trying to reinvent.
But
yes.
I feel like now that you bring this up, I do feel like I do this to my children all the time because I look so sloppy like 95% of the time that when I get ready for something, they're very nervous. Mom's leaving.
Yes.
Mom has a work. Something's going on. This is unsettling. And so maybe I should get ready more often.
So my dad had 2 watches, and there was one that was like his going out watch, his fancier watch. And apparently when I was 2, if he would put that watch on, I would have a full meltdown because I knew what it meant. Kids, and mine do too, they totally hone in on any subtle change. Like I don't do my nails very often, but I did recently put on nail polish, the remnants of which are on 2 nails. But I walked into Owen's room and he was instantly like, touched my hand and was like, what is that? And Elliot will be like, why are you dressed like that? I'm like, I'm doing a show. It's funny how they hang on like everything like that.
Our son Guy, he's 18 months now. And so he can walk and say words or whatever. But since I work at home, I'll be down in the kitchen and I'll do all right, I'm heading upstairs. And as soon as I breathe in, he recognizes what the preamble is to tell everyone I have to go back to the office. He just loses it. No! Wants to hug and run over. It's crazy.
Oh, that's so sweet. The other time that I felt threatened like this was my sister suddenly started pronouncing the word measure. And I was just like, who are you? Who have you been hanging out with that pronounces it? She was in college when people try on different, personalities and lifestyles. And I was just like, there's a bad influence making you say measure. I think she says measure now. I think she's back. But still.
Thank goodness.
I think that's the urge to blow up my life every 5 years. And not anymore, obviously, Jenna, we're staying together.
Yeah. Okay, got it.
We'll blow it up together.
Sure.
But I think there's an enjoyment of just going hit the delete button, step away. I go by Al now. And then you're just because you can't just go hey, my name's Al now. But you're Alan. We've known you as Alan. You can't be Al.
Right.
It's got to blow it all up.
I say, no, you're an Al, okay?
You made it happen. But sometimes you just got to move cities, delete your phone book, start fresh. Be measure, Apple. I don't know. You just change who you are. Use an accent. Change it all.
The first time Jenna referred to you as Al, it was the funniest thing. Because no offense.
It was.
You invented it though, right? Because the hashtag Al was a description.
We were joking about it, and then I think I said it on your show, and everyone thought it was funny, and then we just started using it regularly, and then we started our show, and you were like, yeah, I'll say it. And now people call him Al all the time in regular life, and he's like, I never imagined I would become an Al.
I still think of him as an Al. It
Me
no
too.
longer has the joke hash. It's no longer a joke hashtag. It's who you are. But wait, in your personal life, do you call him Al or Alan? Around the house?
Al.
She calls me Al.
I mean, I call you both, but it's almost funny to hear Alan because our oldest girls obviously know what our names are, but they call us mom and dad. But then once in a while, our Dylan, second oldest, she will go Alan.
Yeah. Just to mess with us.
Says it is so Alan, is that your name? And it just is the funny. For some reason, it's so funny. It kills me.
That is so cute.
No, my dad wanted to call me AJ, and he stuck with that for like maybe 5 or 6 days after I was born, and then they abandoned that. And then in 7th grade, there was another guy named Al, and he was like, Alan, come with me. We're about to introduce ourselves to 7th grade English. Nobody knows your name. Let's do this. And he's
As
like,
what? Let's be Al?
Yeah, like when they say, like when they call your name Alan, just tell the teacher your name is Al, because that's my name too, and we're going to do this together. And then she was like, Alan, I'm like, here. And I couldn't do it.
Oh, no, you deserted.
I don't know. Yes.
Yes! Good job.
Way to go.
These glasses are really doing something. Wait, did the other guy continue with Al?
His name was always Al. It worked for him.
He was
known
trying
as
to
Al.
he was trying to recruit you.
Yeah. He
For
wanted
the
the
Al
second
Club.
Al. Because his name was Alan, but everybody knew him as Al.
Right.
And mine was Alan and, whatever. But anyway, I couldn't do it.
Transition.
I swore it off.
Yeah. So wait, Al, parentheses N, what's the last time you blew up your life in this way that you're talking about?
Well, when Jenna and I got married, we moved cities. I changed jobs, like complete reversal. Everything's gone, total blow up. And then when we moved to Atlanta, it was like, just destroy everything. I still stayed in
My
the same
heart.
position. Yeah, but then we moved across country, just blew everything up.
We did.
So-
And now we're kind of like, how can we do that again?
Well, you did do
But
like a
not move.
sudden move. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
from
true.
from the first Georgia house to the second one.
Yeah.
It's true. And Al's worried that I'm going to like try that again. Like, hey, let's move again.
Oh wait,
can't.
were you behind this last one?
Yes.
Did you
he
find the
was,
house
but
yourself?
I think I was more excited about the move than he was because the house we moved into was so scary.
Yes. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
train wreck. Just a train wreck. I had to know
Wait,
that.
do I know about this?
Well,
Do I know
yeah.
that it was scary?
So this house we moved into, the whole entire basement was like Tennessee Volunteers orange, like 1,500 square feet of just pure orange.
Oh, I remember. I feel like I remember this.
Yeah,
coming
and
up.
Every
like
room was a different color. Nothing worked. It smelled really bad. There was like literally just like pipes that weren't installed properly, sinks that weren't hooked up. Everything was insane. But we've changed it a lot, and now it's fantastic.
Oh
But
wait, that's the house you're in now.
this
yeah,
is the house we're in now.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
No, that I was
Yes.
aware of. It
Yeah.
was that house was very like pizza. I keep going back to the 80s, but it's my for some reason it's on my mind. Like a pizza joint in the 80s, like black, white, red.
yes.
Yes, lots of that. So yeah, that was definitely blowing up our life for sure. But I mean, the problem is we both get antsy, Al and I. So we do
Yeah.
have to like look for things.
But it was a major blow up. We moved, we had a baby, and I changed jobs, all
Yeah.
in like a 6-month period.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Because we're crazy. We like to punish
we're
ourselves.
we're okay for now. We have maybe like 2-3 more years before we have to do the next blow up. So stay tuned.
Oh, I can't wait. Speaking of moving, Tony just moved. So we're
Oh.
now looking at the new place, right?
Yeah, you are. Yeah, it's still a bit of a work in progress, but we've gotten a lot done. But yeah, there's still more work to be done.
You're completely out of the old place though, right?
Basically, yeah. Technically, I think I still have like 2 more days until I have to be out. But I literally just have like a couple of things in the backyard I have to go get still. But yeah, either doing that tonight or tomorrow, and I'm out.
How's it all going?
Great. We absolutely love the new place. It has pretty much the only thing it doesn't have that we would have liked to have had is it doesn't have a fenced in yard for Bentley, but we've been totally fine with that. We have to take him out
Walk
instead
him.
of just opening the door now, but that's totally fine because where I lived before, you were never there, were you?
No, I was never there. I saw some pictures, but I was never there.
Yeah, because it was on a big hill, and so like everything was kind of even just going on a walk felt like it was so much more work than it actually was, just because of the hill. So it's nice to be on some flat land now, and so like taking him out we really don't mind at all. So that one thing that was like, oh, I wish I had this, it's totally not a thing. We're
Did
really
you-
loving it.
Live on the kind of hill where if you were parked on the street, like your door wouldn't stay open, or if you were wearing rollerblades, you'd die?
Yes. Yeah, it was very steep. Like, it was the kind of thing, like, I got very used to it, but anybody that came over, like, everyone would comment on it.
So I realized, and this is another thing that Jenna and Al may remember, because I think this came up on a show with you guys. When we went looking for a house, there were like 3 phases of it spread out by some years. We initially started like a few years before we actually moved, but in the course of, I think, the first go round, maybe, and remember there was that house I fell in love with, and then it came back on the market, which we don't live in, but I was like, this house it's a sign, but maybe it wasn't, or maybe it was, I don't know, but anyway, that we're not in that house. But when we were looking for houses, I realized I have a bit of a phobia of hills. And I've looked it up. There is, like, I wish I could say, like, oh yeah, I have hillophobia. There's no actual name for this. I don't think it really exists, but something about a house on a hill feels so precarious to me. Even though, like, I'm sure it's pretty secure. I'm sure that it's, not going to just fall into an abyss or something. But I was just like, I don't know that I would ever feel like I'm on terra firma living in a house on a hill like this. And maybe I just don't trust my feet. I don't know what it is. There's something very unnerving about very windy, steep hills to me. I'm crazy.
I think it's like my theory is it's like as you get older, these other fears come out, because we live on a lake and we bought like little just kayaks because you can go out on the lake for whatever. And I have the canoeing merit badge, the motorboating merit badge, sailing merit badge.
Weird.
I know. It's family friendly, but I know where you're all going with it. It's not an easy merit badge to get.
No, we're already there. We already went there. We're there and back. I've already pitched a tent there.
So I can handle the water, and I go out on these kayaks, and I'm like kind of genuinely scared for some reason of being on the water in a boat.
Yes.
It's really weird.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever been on a cruise?
Yes.
No.
I have not, and Motion City is supposed to be playing one this summer, but I guess the actual show happens before the thing leaves, and we had the option to, like, we can go if we want, and I'm not going to go. I have no desire to go on a cruise.
Is this like a rock cruise?
Yeah.
What other can you say what other bands?
I believe Coheed and Cambria is like it's like their thing.
I do not understand. Like, there was just the Jericho cruise. I don't quite, and I know that the Adam Carolla show does some cruises sometimes. I don't quite understand the Celebrity or 311 does. Like, how does that work? Is it like you perform and then also it's a nonstop meet and greet?
I really don't know. I've never done it, and it just, I don't know. It doesn't appeal to me. I find the ocean
Same.
I find it pretty
Scary.
terrifying. Like, especially,
Yes.
I will get in the ocean. I'm not a huge fan of it, but the thought of like being out in like the middle of the ocean is just not appealing to me.
The last few times I did those paddle boats, I never know if it's paddle or pedal. It's the same experience that I have with Cucumber, where I'm like, I thought I could do this. I thought I could see if I like it, but turns out I don't like this. And I made us pedal or paddle back to shore. And those boats are like ridiculous. They're very, I mean, you see my dad from the boat. You're not very far away, but I was just like, I'm not into this. Tony, do you get seasick?
No, it's not that. I just it's just that thing of for me, it's, what is that fact? It's like I think it's like 4% of the ocean floor has been explored.
Yeah, it's awful.
And like,
I
not
didn't
that I
know
expect
that.
to be like that far down or anything, but like, I just, when you think about that fact, like, that is terrifying to me. Like, there are fucking monsters in the ocean that we have no idea about.
There are. I completely believe that. No, I went on a cruise one time in high school, and our bunks or rooms.
Was it with your school?
It was with my dad.
Okay.
And he and his wife had like a really nice room up top with a view. and the rest of us kids had like the fun kid room, which was down so far below that when you got to your room, I opened the tiny little window and half of it was underwater. And I was horrified and terrified. And I thought, I'm sleeping underwater every night on this boat. Are you kidding me? And this was like back when we had like some internet, and I finally had a cell phone. None of it worked on the cruise, but the internet was terrible. And I was like, this is a nightmare. But I did get second place in the cruise's karaoke competition. So
Hell
it was
yeah.
a bright spot to my.
What was your song?
What did I sing?
Is it like a Mariah Carey song or something?
No, I think I sang Aretha Franklin.
Oh,
I think I sang Respect. I used to be able to sing. I can't sing anymore. My voice is not good. But when I was in high school, I
Don't
was singing
believe
all
that.
the time, and I had a pretty okay voice. But I lost to a guy who could sing just like Prince, and I felt like that was a worthwhile loss. Like, he was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know that I had Miles Kahn on the show recently.
Yes. So fun.
Yeah. So for anyone who's not, Miles used to work at The Daily Show. He and I met on OkCupid. We went on like a couple dates, and then we became just friends. There's much more to the story, which we delved into in like embarrassing detail on that episode. But I got Jenna out of it because I think he recommended you for the show, and that's how we met. And
Miles?
then, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. Sorry. I interrupted you.
No, I was just going to say that he and I we follow each other, and there were like very occasional social media contact. And then I don't know how we got in touch again. It was like through Twitter DM, and I said, would you want to come on the show? And he said, yes. And he's married now.
Right.
And day of, I said, can we, like, is it okay to mention how we met, or would you rather not? And he's like, yeah, we totally can. He's like, I wasn't awful to you or anything, was I? And I said, no, because I think he thought maybe I was going to like ambush him or something on this. That came out on the show, you know?
Right.
Which, by the way, I don't like that version of me. The version of me that's like, I'm going to bring this guy on from years ago, and then I'm going to give him what for. But anyway, I realized.
Well, this is Allison's show.
I'm realizing that the audience already knows because they're like, yes, we heard. But Jenna doesn't know.
Right.
I realized that I don't ever empty out my inbox. So I have every single old email. So I went back and I looked and I found our emails, and I was like, oh my God, there was so much more to this than I remember. In my mind, we went on a couple dates. He said he feels more like a just friend vibe with me. That was it. I met you. He came on my show, gave me a haircut because he's like good at cutting hair. That was it. But I looked back, and it was like when I tried to sound all breezy, but when he said that he thought like we should be just friends, I was like, I waited a little while, but then I'm like, can I just ask, like, how is it that you don't find me attractive? And like, I didn't put it that way, but it was like so painful to reread because I was like,
so
I was just tired of never asking these questions. So I'm like, could we just I didn't say this, but it was as if I was doing an exit interview.
Yeah.
Mortifying. I found it mortifying.
At least you went on a few dates. I got an email from a guy once that was like, hey, just so you know, I only see us as friends. And I was like, we haven't even been on a date.
Wait.
We talked one time at church. We hung out in like a group setting, and he literally, like, we went with a whole group of people to a movie. And he emailed me later that night and said, just so you know, I'm not interested. And I think we should just be friends. And I was like,
That's so presumptuous.
Was I staring at him? Did he think that what's happening? It really shook me. I was like, am I a freak? Like, what is happening?
No, I think he's the freak. That's so
Wild.
weird.
Yeah.
What did you say? Did you respond? Did you respond to him?
I don't think so, but I had to see him at church every week after that.
And no one had suggested that you guys be more than friends or anything. It was just a drive-by rejection.
It was like, yes, it was literally out of the blue. I showed my friends; they all laughed. We all were like, but deep down, I was a little shook because I'm like, did I do something weird? Did I like wink at you or something? Like, what?
Something in
gave
your
me
eye.
this idea that I like. Did we brush hands? And I didn't like. You thought I was putting the moves on you. I don't understand what this is all about.
That's
makes
so
no sense.
weird. Ooh,
Yeah.
nice.
Oh,
you know
but
what? Oh, go
Speaking
ahead.
of Miles, so you guys went on date. We got introduced. Whatever. He and I. So he's like a very good bike rider, and
Mhm.
he used to ride all over the city and come into the city on a bike and go to work. And he was really great at it and had like a really great bike. And I, just in my youth, naivety, whatever, we were talking about, I'm like, that's so cool, you bike. I have a bike and it'd be so fun, whatever. And he's like, oh, let's go riding. And I had like a $20 bike that I had bought from some stranger on Craigslist. That was so bad. He's like, yeah, let's do it. So I'm like, yeah, let's show me the city and show me how to do this. And we went on like this insane bike ride. And the entire time I was like dying. I'm like
Oh,
riding
God.
behind him, like trying to keep up. Like, this is great. I got it. We went everywhere. And I had the worst, crappiest bike. And he showed up in like gear and had
Yeah.
a cool speed bike. And I will never forget that day of it was fun because it all worked out. But the entire time we were riding was me panicking inside, like, just keep up with him. You just got to keep up. You just can't show that you're weak. And I don't know how I survived.
Did it involve taking the bike on the subway?
Yes, and on a bridge.
Okay. I also, and I wonder if it was around that same time, I was in Orange County with my Orange County friends, and they were going to go bike riding to the beach. And they didn't invite me but they told me, we didn't invite you because we know you would never do something like this. Yeah, I know. And I was like, oh, I'll show you a thing or two. So I basically dared myself into it. I remember showing, and by the way, you know me. You know I don't show my upper arms. I showed up in rolled up sweatpants and a tank top.
Oh my
I was like, I don't know who I was. I was bike lady. And that's when I realized, like, wow, because you know how they say you never forget how to ride a bike. I was like, did I ever know how to ride a bike? I remember having one, but I cannot turn left or right. I can only go straight. I can't turn. So I liked one of the guys who was part of this whole we didn't invite you thing. That's basically why I went. But so then I was like, I'm now into biking. I love it. Got to New York. Dustin let me borrow or basically have his old bike. And then my friend Leah and I biked, because I was in my bike phase. We biked to Roosevelt Island.
Yep.
And that involved bridges. It involved all the forms of transportation with this fucking bike. Excuse my language again. We had to get on a boat with the bike.
This is amazing because this is exactly what I did with Miles. Like,
Is there just one? There's just if you want to bike if you want the New York bike experience, I guess there's one route you take.
I guess so.
We were on a boat. We were on an island. And then I just remember at the end of the day, trying to get this bike back up, like down the subway stairs, up the subway stairs, onto the subway. And I don't know what happened. Like my body just gave out because other people saw me and just helped me. I've never been more, I wanted to abandon the bike. I've never been more helpless. The whole thing was so miserable, but especially I wish I could have taken the bike in a cab. It was so awful. And that was probably one of the last times I've ever ridden a bike.
Yes. Riding the bike in New York is so scary.
Having
Yes.
someone help you,
But who
that
says
hurts.
New Yorkers aren't nice?
Multiple people helped me. Because my arms stopped working. I think I don't know if I fell down the stairs with the bike. It was so heavy.
It's crazy. I rode my bike after that experience with Miles like a few more times, and then I had a series of bad events.
Oh no.
One where I slipped off a curb and almost crashed. One where someone opened their door and almost hit me. So I had to swerve out into traffic,
Yeah.
and then I thought I was going to die. And then the final time, which was the final straw, I was going down the West Side Highway, having a lovely time, headed to a friend's house. Something flew into my eye.
Sorry.
My contact fell out. And I'm so blind that I'm like, I can't ride my bike with one contact. Like,
Oh,
and I
no.
can't close my eye because then I have no like it
Depth
was just-
perception.
Yes, it was so bad. So I had to walk the bike back to my apartment. And I thought to myself, I think I have to be done riding a bike in the city. I think the city is telling me, you're not cut out for this. Knock it off.
Yes.
Yeah.
I also don't like, and this makes me sound like a 6-year-old, but I would prefer to ride on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't like riding in the street. Although I think there's huge bike lanes in New York now.
Now there's a lot more. And like Times Square, half of it is bike lanes. But even
Right.
still, I don't know. I was not tough enough, I guess.
No, me neither. But then some bike people get really angry
Yeah.
because they're upset with the way they're treated by cars, which I understand because you are very vulnerable. I think we got out just in time, Jenna, before we became bitter.
I think so.
Listen, I need to tell you guys about something that is not going to make you bitter. It's going to make you happy to hear about it. It's Little Spoon. One thing you're probably hearing over and over this time of year, new year, new you. We know that as a busy parent, you don't have time to completely overhaul your life in the new year. One change that's easy to make that will make your life easier in 2023 is Little Spoon. Now, perhaps you're thinking, we're already for a second, I was like, wait, it's already spring. It's not. My brain just fast forwarded. Look, Little Spoon. I have Little Spoon meals in my refrigerator right now. They are amazing. It's a one-stop shop for healthy, easy mealtime and snack time for your baby, toddler, and big kid delivered right to your door. Yes, you can have Little Spoon in your life for years to make mealtime healthy, tasty, and easy. They deliver fresh, organic baby food from single ingredients to multi-texture purees, toddler and big kid meals that are free of junk and taste amazing. Healthy snack time with organic smoothies in the form of convenient pouches. My kids love the pouches. I've mentioned this before, but every time we go to one time we went to Descanso and I brought Little Spoon smoothie pouches, and now every subsequent time I have to bring them because they have associated them with Descanso. But it's great. But also the meals I have there, these plates that are like sectioned. They have a few different items on them. They're packaged in a way that's super easy. You could just pop them in the microwave, and I've tasted it. It's all really good. Make this year's chaos a little more manageable with time-saving, delicious, and healthy meals and snacks your kids will love. Go to littlespoon.com and enter our code NEWBESTFRIEND at checkout to get 50% off your first Little Spoon order. That's Littlespoon, LITTLESPOON.com, and enter our code NEWBESTFRIEND for 50% off at checkout. And then I also want to talk to you guys about Masterclass. I love Masterclass. Daniel loves Masterclass. You can take these classes from amazing instructors and you learn from like the world's best minds anytime, anywhere at your own pace. I took a writing class with Judy Bloom. They have cooking classes with like top chefs. They have screenwriting. I mean, just really established moguls, really. You can learn marketing from Kris Jenner. It's amazing. And then there's one that I keep saying I'm going to take, and once I do, look out, you guys. It's criminal profiling from like the guy who I think invented criminal profiling. No one's going to get one over on me after that. But the one that I am very excited about, because I follow this woman on Instagram, Carla Welch, who is a celebrity stylist. She's styled stars like Justin Bieber, Tracy Ellen Ross. She has her own clothing line. I've been following her for years. So when I heard Carla Welch has a masterclass on personal style, I was like, I know exactly who this is. And I think if she had styled my mom years ago, we wouldn't have been in that pickle. I think my mom needed to have watched Carla Welch's class on building and owning your personal style. I highly recommend you check Masterclass out. Get unlimited access to every class. And as an Allison Rosen's New Best Friend listener, you get 15% off an annual membership. Go to masterclass.com/bestfriend now. That's masterclass.com/bestfriend for 15% off Masterclass. Okay. Oh, I love it. It crackled a tiny bit, but I don't even care. It was like listening to it on a record player. Let's say hello and welcome to new patrons.
Allison wants to say thank full of special people out there who signed up to be new patrons. Patreon.com/AllisonRosen.
All right. Hello and welcome, Chad Ames. He opted for an annual subscription. Hello and welcome, Sandra Lugo, Sarah Carnes, Jenny Carr, opted for the annual subscription. Elena Vleek. Elena, let me know if I have butchered your name. Annual subscription. Ray Morgan converted to an annual subscription. Hello and welcome to Connor McCarthy. Erin Thomas increased her pledge. She is now at the texting level. We have exchanged texts. Sam Randall did the same. Frank Otterbein III. I love your name. Hello and welcome. Megan Huneck. And Amy. Hello. I like everyone's names. Hello. And welcome. I should have done the last but not least thing because I feel like in school they were always saying last but not least. And I was like, I never would have taken it hard until you said that. Like you're protesting too much, you know? I feel like it's like a verbal drum roll, like, and we're getting to the end now. Anyway, hello, welcome, patreon.com/AllisonRosen. Okay, going back to hair for just a moment. Jenna, how are you achieving these luscious curls?
Oh my goodness. A year.
Is this a rod?
This is, yeah, it's a Dyson.
Oh, do you have the air wrap?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, must be nice.
Al got it for me for Mother's Day a year or two ago. And
Probably like
at
4 years
first I
ago.
was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this correctly. But after practicing, I have finally figured out how to do it. And I love it.
There should be a master class in the air wrap. There should be like
really
Mr.
should.
Dyson should teach a class.
They really should.
In vacuum attachments and in the air wrap. Okay, so you can curl. What else does it do? Because there's like a whole bunch of different things it does, right?
Yeah.
This is not an ad, you guys.
There are two different sizes of curls. This is the smaller one. And then there's an actual blow dryer attachment. So you can use it to blow dry. And then there's like two different brushes and a roll brush.
So do you use it to curl? Obviously, do you use it for all the other stuff too?
Yes, I use it. So my process now, yeah, I use all of it. The two of the brushes are just for like making your hair look smooth.
Mm-hmm.
And then the roll brush gives you that like blown out look. But the best thing about it is the curl. And so what I do is I just let my hair air dry. And then right when it's almost dry, I do the wrap. And it's literally like 5 minutes and it's done. Yeah.
I feel
Crazy.
like that's a real mom thing. My mom always would let her hair air dry and then blow it dry at the very end. And now I have started doing that too. I walk around. By the way, I'm fully committed to robe life. I walk around in my robe with my wet hair, and
Just
then
go, girl.
I mean, yes.
If something happens, I do the same thing. Al's laughing because he's like, you guys are the same. It's the same. You put on your robe. It's so comfortable. It's wonderful.
It's the putting on version of taking off my bra.
Yes, totally.
I'll be like, it's been too many hours since I've been in that robe, and then I just got to put it on.
Exactly.
Over my clothes.
What robe do you have? You
So,
were asking about robes.
I was asking questions. It might be temporary.
Okay.
Although I really am like loving it more and more and more, but I just feel like there was another robe out there for me. So it's Pottery Barn. It's the Dream robe. It's
Robes.
I love that so much. It's very big and fluffy.
Yeah.
And it was in my closet for maybe 5 years. And I was like, I should throw this out. It's taking up so much space. I'm never going to wear it. And then when I realized I need a robe, I pulled it out and I was like, this is just my temporary dusty robe, but it's very cozy. But I know you're an Ugg robe fan.
Yeah. The Ugg robe is like, it's my dream. I love it. It's perfect. It's exactly what I want. But Pottery Barn, I mean, that's nothing to Pottery Barn's
Sneeze at.
nice.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
But it's my kids say I look like a marshmallow, which is true. It's true. But I just feel like there's like a sleek, warm black robe out there for me. That's right.
Right.
That's like me in robe form, maybe.
Well, the thing I like about the Ugg one, because I've had different kinds. The one that I have from Ugg is it's not too big and fluffy.
right.
but it's so warm and soft.
What color did you get?
Mine's like a light pink.
Hmm.
Yeah. They have
Al?
darker colors though.
I know. I got to check that out. Al?
I
Do you have a
have a
robe?
robe. I know where it hangs, but I rarely wear it. I think Hugh Hefner, like that.
That's exactly where Daniel went with it.
Yeah, there's just a vibe of like, I'm in a robe. Ugh. And it's like, it just doesn't, it feels, sexually aggressive.
That's so funny that for a dude, it seems sexually aggressive, whereas for a woman, it's the complete opposite.
Literally, like, the least sexy thing in the
Yeah.
room. Yeah.
I don't know. It's like every movie, like, oh, let me slip into something more comfortable. It's a robe. You know, the guy who's like the aggressive, assaulting
Ladies'
type
man.
person, he's in a robe. It's just, so I
How
don't know.
can it be
It's a weird
so
vibe.
different?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I also think that it takes twice as much effort for me to go to find the robe, to wrap it, to tie it, to be very temporary, only to be like, I could just throw these sweatpants on, the t-shirt, and I'm like out the door.
Oh, yeah. No, sweatpants, t-shirt, plus robe. That's how it goes.
No,
Yeah,
that's
I've done that.
hot.
Well, sometimes it's cold. Jenna, where does your robe live?
I have a hook behind the door on my closet, and it's always right there. Yeah.
Did you install a hook, or is this one of the over-the-door hooks?
So it is installed in the door. It was already there when we moved in, but I've always, like, if it wouldn't have been, I always put up those, like, what are those?
Command strip.
3M hooks.
Yeah,
And
3M.
those
Ones
stay?
you can pull. Oh, they're so great.
Maybe I need to get a hook, because
It's-
I have the over-the-door ones, but those always make it so the door is like gong.
Those drive me crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
get the hooks. They have pretty ones. You can get ones that look like you've actually, drilled a hole or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And I get those. I have them everywhere. I'm obsessed.
Jenna is a professional 3M salesperson. She, like, when we had the RV, because you never, like,
Do
everything.
you not have the RV anymore?
Oh, no, we sold it. Yeah.
Tony, play something indicating big news.
I do's the numbers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
What?
I know.
Oh my God! You were going to drive out here and convince me that crackers and cheese aren't overrated.
Oh, they're so good.
That's still on the
Sally-
plan.
Sally, yeah, we're gonna get a new one.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Oh,
The
I see.
plan
You're just
is
between
to-
RVs.
The plan is the one we had. We were just abusing. It's just we were driving it cross country. It couldn't handle it. Sally needed a break. She needed a new family who's going to treat her nicer. Okay.
What did you do to her?
Well, so RVs are a special breed. And
That's too
a
much
lot of-
information.
yes, definitely. So you have gasoline, you have diesel, and then you have like the chassis rating. And so like if you get like a tour bus grade one, they're built for like 1 million miles. The chassis are. And they're
The chassis
smooth.
is like the skeleton of it.
Yeah,
like
it's the
body.
metal. It's the metal bars that are connected to the wheels.
Got it.
That's what everything sits on. And ours was like an entry level Class A, so it looks
Gas.
kind of like the bus, but it's meant to go like, oh, we drive 100 miles to the lake, we spend a week there, and then we drive 100 miles home. And we were doing like 2,100 miles there, doing all this stuff and driving like mad. And it was not going to hold up with the way we were driving it. And
Were things going wrong, or you could just tell they were going to?
no, I had upgraded there's a steering stabilizer that you can buy that makes it much easier to drive. And then there's like sway bars, they call them. So when you drive an RV, if it's a cheap one like the one we had, like a
Crazy
semi would
bumpy.
pass you and you'd rock for like 6 to 8
Yeah.
seconds.
Oh
And
my
try to like
God.
keep it going. It was really scary. So I put sway bars on it. So it was fortified, so to speak.
We had taken really good care of it. So
Yeah.
we just realized like the market was hot. People wanted RVs really bad. And we knew that we needed a different RV for what we wanted it for. So we thought like, let's sell Sally now and then we'll get a new one.
Yeah.
Sally
Were your
the
kids
RV.
sad?
Oh,
They
so
were.
sad. We were all sad.
Yeah.
It was like leaving someone like, no,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, but the
And
RVs
when we had to empty it out, it was like,
RVs are a money losing operation, right? It's like you should lose tons of money. And the way the market was, we actually sold it for more than we bought it because there was
Nice.
such a swell from the pandemic and we were early on it that it was the right time to get rid of it, and went to a good family. They're going to love the heck out of it and use it right.
They'll be great. They had big plans and it was really fun. We did the right thing, but we still miss it. We talk about it, and we watch far too many videos on YouTube of other RVs. Like, oh, what if we had that sweet one? Have you seen that? Oh, it has a half bath and a full bath. Washer, dryer. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
A full bath in an RV? What does that mean? A shower and a bathtub?
No, it means some have a bathtub.
You can.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But the fancy ones will have a full, a shower and 2 sinks in the back, and then they'll have a half bath like halfway through. So when you have like company to your bus.
Oh, right. Did you guys watch Hacks?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Like she had on the tour bus, Deborah had the full
Yeah.
Yep.
bedroom. Tony, I know we've talked a bit about how you guys tour in the bus and stuff, but have you seen like a deluxe bathroom in a tour bus? Do you guys have deluxe bathrooms?
Nothing too crazy. We've had ones that had showers before, but that's about as deluxe as we ever had.
And then, but how does that work? Do you have to hook it up to a water source, or are there like tanks in the
I'm not totally sure about that, but I do know that if you used the shower, you had to kind of do it as they call like military style, where like you turn it on, get wet, turn it off, soap up, turn it back on, rinse off, turn it off, be done.
Yeah. So
how luxurious?
Ours, you had a 50 gallon.
It's better than no shower.
That's true.
Definitely. We had a 50 gallon freshwater tank, and you had a water pump. And so if you kick the water pump on, then you can flush your toilets and you can take a shower. And then once you're on shore power, like when you stop and park, then you can hook up to city water and go unlimited, and you kick on your water heater and everything.
Huh.
Yeah.
I did not know.
It's a whole
By the
life.
way, Al, I feel like Daniel might contact you because he's been watching The Last of Us, and now he's like kind of feeling like we need to do some prepping.
Have him give me a call.
Oh,
I'll
man.
consult all day long with
You
him.
are talking to the right person. I'm in
Yeah.
the room right now with the food
Peanut butter?
storage.
And what do you like? Just give us a rundown of what you're looking at.
Oh, on here we got a year's supply of food in here.
Now, Al, does that make you nervous for her to say this in case people hear this and then decide your house is where they're going to go when the crap
Listen.
goes down?
I'm happy to share.
Yeah.
We're going to take
Okay.
care of each other. I don't think we'll ever get to that like post-apocalyptic world. I just think human nature, we're good people. But yeah, no, we have a 1 year supply for 4 people. And then I've got a 3-month supply of water.
So do you have, because that's what Daniel mentioned last night. Like he thinks he needs to buy some like 50-gallon tanks of water.
Yeah.
Is that what you guys have?
I
Look how
have-
excited you got.
Giant blue tubs of water that are filled.
Yeah, I have 2 tanks. They're 160 gallons each, and they stack on top of each other.
Who brings these and lifts them?
Oh, they're not that heavy. I can
fill
lift
them
them up
yourself.
on top of each other by myself, and then you fill them up.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes so much more sense.
Yeah.
Wait, fill it up with what though?
You fill it with water, and then you put in drops. To
Well, no,
make sure.
I know you fill it with water.
Your hose. Use your
I see.
hose, and then you add these like drops to it to keep it okay.
Got it.
Right?
Yeah.
Is that right, Al?
That's my question. Yeah, because I was like,
Yeah, and
you're
then
filling
and
it
then
up with filtered water.
once a year. I empty it out and make sure it's clean and rinse it, and then you run it back up. So, and it's not like, I mean, again, because that's the fear is like, it's not that like there's this post-apocalyptic,
Post-apocalyptic.
whatever, a
There's not a poke pasta.
Yeah, whatever it is
That's
that
what we're gonna eat. Polka pasta.
it's more about like, and maybe what Daniel's feeling is like, and this, whatever people feel, whatever, but I think there's like this deep desire as like a father to make
Yes.
sure that your family's cared for.
Yes.
And the worst thing or the worst feeling would be like, hey, we're 3 days without water and this is all my fault and my kids are suffering.
Yeah.
And so you go like, well, at least we'd have this or whatever. So I
Right.
think there's like a deep, I didn't care about this until we had kids.
Yes. Yeah. So Jenna, tell me what kind of food you're looking at.
So we've got all kinds of stuff. We've got dried fruit, lots of different kinds of dried fruit. We've got mixes, like you could do blueberry muffins. You can make brownies.
Snapchats.
All these things.
Yeah, what heat source?
What's that?
What heat source are you using?
Like
To
a
make-
flame? I don't know. What would we be
Okay.
using?
Yeah. So we got like little. I bought like these little. It's just like a camper stove, and you
Okay,
can do
got
it
it.
with that because all you need is hot water to
Right.
reconstitute everything.
Right.
Wow.
Tons of soups. That dried soups that you just add water to. There's a few like rice-based meals, a lot of oatmeal, pancake mix,
Beef stroganoff.
stroganoff, all kinds of pasta. Yeah, lots of pasta and that kind of thing. And then flour, things you could like make bread,
Powdered
that
milk.
kind of thing. Powdered milk,
Powdered eggs.
powdered eggs.
I bought like
And
a
are you-
kit.
better than me.
I bought like a whole kit.
That's what I was going to ask. Are you buying this from a place that is
Yeah.
like a prepping place versus the grocery store or something?
Yeah.
I bought it like January or February before the pandemic, and Sam's Club had this like ridiculous sale, and it was like this one kit that they would sell you, and then the pandemic like blew everything up, and Sam's Club got out of there, and they're not going to sell it anymore. They almost wouldn't even deliver it to me, but I had already bought it, and I was waiting for them to deliver, and I just kept calling.
Why? Why did they stop?
Because the pandemic was ramping up, and people were buying stuff like crazy. So the supplier that they had
Got it.
worked with was not going to send it. And I was like, I bought it. You send it.
Yeah,
And
we
they-
bought it before things blew up.
Right.
Yeah, and it showed up like in 102 boxes. Like the FedEx guy
my
was
God.
like, so you're the guy. And was just like throwing them off the truck at me. And I'm like, ooh, okay.
I wish Daniel was here right now because we have a PO box, and Daniel has this like. Remember, he had his Starbucks reserve wife. This is like the opposite of that. He has an enemy at the post office box because they're always like. First of all, she called him Mr. Quartz, and he was upset about that. But she's always like, "You're the one with a lot of packages here."
Oh, they can suck my nuts.
Yeah, she gives him a lot of attitude about. And I was like, are you sure she's giving you attitude? And are you sure it's not just like she has like resting bitch face voice? She might just be commenting on. But anyway, he feels that she is always upset at how many packages we have there. So I'm just saying you guys could have bonded over this.
It happens.
Yeah.
It happens.
Well, also, isn't it her job to like gather packages?
Yes. Maybe she
I'm
doesn't
just-
like
I
her
don't
line
know.
of work.
Yeah.
What kind of toilet paper situation are you dealing with? Do you have a lot of toilet paper?
I guess we don't have that much toilet paper.
No.
We
I
usually
have
have
a-
about 2 Costco size packs in our house.
Yeah. And I have a bidet.
And Al has a bidet.
Oh,
Problem
I
solved.
find a lot of joy in pooping.
thank you.
Oh my gosh. That drop. I literally thought of that drop as I was going to the bathroom earlier. And I thought, I wonder if I'm going to hear that drop.
And then you did. Let's do some just me or everyone.
Sometimes I ponder on something I have thought or done. Is it just me or everyone?
I have one, which is you guys were talking about the Super Bowl, and I cannot hear the name the Eagles without thinking of Michael Vick and the dog thing. Like that's all I think about when I hear Eagles.
Which is
I'm gonna
interesting
guess-
because he was not an eagle when that all happened.
Yeah.
Really? What
Yeah.
was he?
He was a
Falcon.
falcon.
Yeah.
But he eventually played for the Eagles. But yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
When
my
he finally
brain
got
has
out,
just-
he went back. Yeah.
I didn't know that. Well, I feel like you know what though? When it came out, was he an Eagle? Because I feel like all the news
No.
articles mentioned. Why do I? Well,
It was a big deal because when he came back to the league, the Eagles like gave him a chance, and then he came back and did pretty well. Like he
Yeah.
was
I see.
running and like at least I think I don't maybe I got
Yeah.
the timeline wrong, but I think it was
Yeah,
like a
I
big
think
deal to
that's
come
right.
back. Yeah.
huh. Well, in my mind, I associate Eagles, Michael Vick,
Dog abuse.
dog fighting. Yeah, dog abuse. And that's like all I think about.
I
Yeah.
I grew up in the
Tough Super Bowl.
suburbs when the Eagles were really terrible. And all I remember is there was an Eagles 49ers game where the 49ers came in and just were trouncing the Eagles, and all the fans just started beating up everybody with the 49ers jersey. And then for the next
Jeez.
couple weeks, they decided to just hold court in the basement of the stadium so that as they arrested you, they could just take you right down, put you through the arraignment, and like ship you out. And I thought, well, that's pretty interesting. Yeah.
What a great team.
Sports.
It's, city of brotherly love.
Yeah. Al, you had it just mirror everyone, yes? You had a couple.
Oh, I did. Do you want to read it, or do I get to read it?
You get to read it.
Oh, I'm
Read
so
it. Read
honored.
it.
Mine was. What did I send? Hang on a minute.
It was about streaming, but you
Best
wrote
of
steaming.
streaming.
Which
Oh
I thought
yeah,
was funny.
JMO. The best of streaming TV and movie services is behind us. It's only going downhill from here. Just mirror everyone.
Ooh.
Why do you feel that way?
I think the magic is over. Like when it was first there, we were like, look at all the stuff on Netflix. And now it's like, well, NBC or Universal's clawed their stuff back. Paramount's clawed their stuff back. Everybody's like
Oh.
keeping their own things. And now like we're relying
Now we
on.
just have cable that's internet based. And
Yeah.
we just pay for each channel as we want.
And even new shows, like it was exciting to have something dumped right at like 10 episodes and you could just consume
Yes.
it. And now they're starting to trickle it back out again. I just feel like the best is past us and we
The
need some
heyday.
new innovation.
I
Right,
think I
interesting.
respectfully disagree.
Really?
Tell us.
Yeah. Well, one, you were talking about the everybody, the binging, like releasing them all at once. I actually am a fan of the not binging because I feel like when it's released one at a time, I feel like then a lot of us can be on the same episode and we can talk about like, you know, we're not like, where are, I mean, you, there still is the like, how many are you in? But like, there's a better
Sure.
chance of like, you know, you've
Right.
watched the same amount of episodes and you can kind of talk about it. Cause I do miss that. And I think that is something that is lost a little bit with the binge. And also when I binge things, I feel like I forget everything. Like I'll watch a ton in a
That's
day
true.
and then I just like, it's just gone then as soon as I'm done.
Ah,
I have that. I know what you mean. However, I find now that I wear progressives a robe and let my hair air dry till the very end, if it's week by week, I forget what happened the week before off versus binging where it's like a very, very, there's a lot of continuity.
Yeah. And I also think my other part of it though too is that I think that maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like some of these streaming services are letting a lot weirder shows that maybe wouldn't have gotten made on regular TV happen that I've really been enjoying. I still have to finish the last one, but I don't know if anybody's watched Paul T. Goldman on Peacock.
I heard that was
No.
really good.
It's
I wanna see
insanity.
it.
It's really crazy, and I'm really, really enjoying it. I'm excited to watch the last one still, but I feel like it's such a weird show that I don't think like a normal network would have made it.
I mentioned The Last of Us. Is anyone here watching that show?
Mm-mm.
I have not watched it yet. I played the video game, but I have not watched the show
Oh.
yet.
Apparently the third episode is like, and I read the synopsis. It does sound good, but it's like this like amazing hour of television. Like, I don't know if you've heard, Jenna and Al, if you've heard people go on about how great it is. People are like, it's like the finest hour of television possibly ever. A real tearjerker. You will like weep. And people have said to me, you can watch that one by itself. Like you don't, because it's sort of, I don't know if I would call it a bottle episode, but you don't really have to see what came before. But I have walked in a couple times while Daniel's watching The Last of Us, and I've been scarred by what I saw. It's so gross.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's very gross.
It's
Anyway.
apocalypse, like virus
Yes, so it's-
killing everyone kind of thing.
It's based on a video game that Tony played, and it's in the
That's what they say in
apocalypse.
the ads. Yeah.
Yes.
Played by
There's
Tony Braxton.
a fungus that takes over, which seems less scary than zombies, but it kind of like zombifies people, right?
Right. I guess.
Well, it seems
Tony's-
more. It maybe more adds a level of maybe realism to it. Maybe
There's a fungus that does that to ants and turns ants into zombies.
Oh, yes. It's kind of like that, right? So the person becomes like more fungus than person, but just the like fungus starts growing out of their mouth, and that's what's like so disgusting. That's what I've seen a couple times. It's like, it's like
Ew.
looks like alfalfa, like wiggly alfalfa sprouts coming out of their mouth. It's nasty.
Love
But apparently, it's a great show. Okay, and then Al,
Tearjerker.
you had another one, or Jenna, do you have one?
No, Al has another one. I'll do his. You want me
Okay.
to do yours, Al?
Sure.
I'll do yours. I'm stealing yours, Al.
Steal it.
This is fallout from the pandemic, comma. Homeschool has lost the weird kid stigma. I think that's true.
Yes, there's a lot of people homeschooling.
Yeah, I think it's like far more normal, or like, yeah, sure, you homeschool, whatever.
I think it's like if someone says, "Oh, I'm homeschooling," no one goes like, "So you're a fundamentalist Christian?" You know, like that's kind of over now. It's like, "Oh, so you're just fighting the man. You don't like what's being taught in schools, huh?" Yeah, rock on. You know, I feel like there's like a very like it's a different vibe that's happening.
Yeah, there is more homeschooling.
I think
Didn't-
so.
Did Mary Catherine Ham homeschool her kids for a little while?
She did for a year because the schools weren't going to open.
Right.
And then I think her kids are back in school now.
Oh, question. What is Nunya?
None of your business.
That's
None
what
of your
I always
business.
think, right?
Yeah.
I think the
I
argument
say
is
none.
how is it
Here's why.
spelled? How do
This
you
is-
spell it?
Oh, how would you
wait.
spell Nunya?
So Nunya really is none of your business.
Yeah.
No. Okay. You mentioned Nunya when you were talking about dropping your kids off at school.
Correct.
So what's the deal with all of that?
This
And do your kids go to a public school?
yes.
Okay.
So public school, I am annoyed by school, and I will just say that I would say this to the school's face. Okay. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm fine. I'm on the end of a cold. Anyway, I would say this to the school's face if they asked me. But I think it's a little annoying that when I walk into the school to check in my daughter, that they're just so uptight about it. Like I walk in, I buzz in, I'm fine with that. I like that they're protecting, keeping doors locked, whatever. I go in, I have to like put in the computer, like her name and her school number. And then they
Like checking in
take
for a flight.
This is just me checking her back, like into school. Like if I take her late,
Okay.
I have to like type her name, my name. Why are you late? And I always want to type Nunya.
I
None
see.
your business, okay? You don't need to know why my daughter's late for school. She's here. And then they take a picture of you. And it's not like a cute picture. And they don't really do a countdown. So you never really know when it's going to happen. So you're like typing. Then all of a sudden you're like, and then there's this horrible picture of you that's there. And then they don't let you walk. They don't let me walk her in. And so
Mhm.
I have to like say goodbye in front of all the secretaries and people. And I'm like, okay, I'll see you later. And then she disappears around this corner. And I just think it's none of your business. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't ask. She's here. Okay. She's an hour or two late. Big whoop. And then like, do you have a note? Like if you've been to the doctor and it's like,
Mm.
No, you don't need to
Get
know
outta
that.
here.
Same thing like when I do like, hey, she's not going to be in school today. Well, why isn't she going to be here? Because I'm
Oh,
her
yeah.
dad and I'm not taking her to school today because she's not going to go.
Yeah.
Like, that's it.
But I feel. Do you feel like they care, or do you feel like they're just like, tell me what to type on the form?
It
either
feels,
way, I just don't feel like they need to know.
Yes.
It feels like they're trying to track, like, you've had 4 sick days and 2 unexcused absences, so pick it up.
we got and I don't know what it's like where you are, but we got a letter from a scary letter from the district that made us feel like we were in trouble, saying your child has had, 9 absences in this many months. And if, anything past 12 or 14 absences, every subsequent absence needs a doctor's note, blah, blah, blah. Like, it was very scary. And Daniel ended up talking to Elliot's teacher, who's like, I know, because we felt like we're getting really, it felt like a citation. And we're getting really mixed messages because there's so many messages coming home saying, please keep your kids home if they're sick. So we were erring on the side of if he seemed sick at all, we were keeping. Now we're not. Now it's like if fluids are not flying out of your mouth or your butt, you're going to school.
Totally.
But we thought we were doing what we were supposed to, which is like keeping him home if he seems sick at all. And then we get this letter from the district, but the school was like, yes, we know this is like a district thing. And then I talked to another parent who they went to Hawaii during the school year. And I was like, how did you do that? And she's like, oh, it was awful. When we came back, we had to have a meeting with the district and like, but ultimately, here's the thing though. Ultimately, nothing really happens.
Right.
Yeah.
But it is
scare
like
you?
all this red tape. And yeah, I was like, if in a private school would this probably wouldn't happen. You pay a lot to not have it happen, but
Yeah.
it's very like, it feels like you're like the DMV.
Yes. Well, I'm like, what is this picture? Why are you taking my picture? And what are you doing
Yeah.
with all these pictures of me? Okay.
Yeah.
And yes, I look grumpy in all of them because why are you taking my picture?
Just tell me which episode of Magic School Bus she missed, and we'll watch
Yeah.
it at home. Is this really,
That's so interesting. Elliot has only been late once. I wonder if and like if you're late, you do have to go to the front office and sign in. And
Yeah.
I wonder if they took Daniel's picture. But then today, Elliot had a full meltdown, tears, did not want to go to school. And I was like, oh, could you please cry about not wanting to go to school like the night before so I can have more time to prepare? Because it was,
Aw.
like at the time that normally we're brushing teeth and like getting out the door, he still wasn't dressed, hadn't had any breakfast, was just full meltdown. Didn't want to go to school because there's so much reading and writing. And which is
that's so
yeah.
Kid.
I know. And the teacher keeps saying to him, you're not doing it right. And this is him talking. She makes him feel like he's not doing it correctly. I'm like, that's so like articulate. And I was trying to explain that like, because he really wants to be able to do things perfectly right away. And he gets discouraged if he's not. And there are two groups and he's in like the more advanced group. And I don't know how much he knows that though. I was trying to explain. But I think he was just overtired.
Yes. Sounds like
But Daniel, so we were able to there were like a lot of incentives and bribes that happened. He's eating sushi right now because that was one of like, if you go to school, we can have sushi for dinner tonight. That's so California. But Daniel finally, like we got him dressed and, kind of put together and on the way to school. But I was thinking they're probably going to miss the bell. He's probably going to have to go in the front office. And what is he going to say for why he's late?
Right.
Well, and that's the whole thing, right? So we're so focused on mental health and like, hey, take time for you, take time for personal stuff.
Personal day.
And you go like, what is this kid developing by going like, suck it up, get to school? Like he's going to miss the morning announcements, or he can have like a slow go at it and we can help him work through this.
I really did not know what to do because I took his temperature and he didn't have one. Like, because part of his being that emotional usually coincides with like, oh, he's not feeling well. He's getting sick. Something's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel felt like it was really important that we don't let him stay home just because he doesn't feel like going, which I totally get. But
Totally
at the same
agree.
time, like, yes. And I do think overall, like, building more resilience in my kids is something that we should be working towards. But I also felt like he's having a really rough morning.
Yeah.
Right.
But anyway, here's what Daniel did. And if anyone's from the school is listening, it's not what he did. He went in as if they were going to the office and then just walked him to his classroom.
Love it.
Just circumvented it. Yeah.
My tactic is to go very big. So if they say like, why are you late? I said, well, just tons of explosive diarrhea. But I think it's all done now, but call me if there's an issue.
Yes. That's good.
Document that, please.
That's good.
I just think
go ahead.
if we're an hour late, I don't need a note. We're still here. You can still count that she came to school and get whatever you need. Anyway, I have a lot of strong feelings about it.
The other thing to do is just say, well, I'm her dad and she's late because I said so. and then
I would
walk out.
love to see what happens if you do that. Yeah. I mean, I was thinking like, should I say he had a doctor's appointment that's getting him here 5 minutes late or something,
Right.
But and ended up like not being a thing. All right. Let's feature a dog.
You are a dog. You are a dog. A doggy dog. Dog, 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 dog. Dog, 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 dog. That's what you are. Dog, 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 dog.
Chanel is an 8-month-old, 18-pound, very playful and energetic puppy. This little kangaroo wannabe is high energy and can easily jump 5+ feet. She is good with other dogs and loves to play all day long. She would be a perfect running buddy or make an amazing agility dog. If you or anyone you know in the DMV area, that's DC, Maryland, Virginia, would be interested in meeting Chanel, please reach out via her pet finder page. Oh, hi, Bentley, at tiny.cc/Chanel dog, tiny.cc/Chanel dog, or email toscas.love. Is there a dot in there? Yes, toscas.love@gmail.com. Again, toscas.love@gmail.com. I was mispronouncing it before, but Ryan, who is hooking me up with these dogs, sent me a very nice voice file about how to pronounce it, but also said they don't care how I pronounce it, but they know that I would want to be pronouncing it right. And that's right. Thank you. Okay. This could not have been a more fun episode. We need to do this more often. Jenna, where can we find you?
You can find me this weekend in Ohio doing stand-up at Crackpots Comedy Club in Massillon, Ohio. It's about an hour south of Cleveland. I'm doing 2 shows Saturday, February 11th. And then I'll be doing a bunch of shows in Utah, Idaho area in end of February. All that is on my website, jennakimjones.com. You can listen to our podcast, Couple Friends. Everywhere podcasts are available. It's called Couple Friends, and you get a lot of hashtag Al. You're going to like it.
It's very entertaining. Hashtag Al, what about you?
You can find me at the hashtag Al on all social media platforms. And I want to just plug Jenna's stand-up special. It's going to be coming out later this year, so stay tuned. We'll keep you all posted, but she recorded it last September. We've finished mixing it and doing all the post, and we're doing the trailer now, and we'll see where it lands.
Is that the one that you recorded in Arizona?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Nice.
I believe my
it
friend
looks-
Charlie Fonville worked on that, right?
He did. He was
Charlie.
fantastic.
Yes.
Charlie's
Knocked
the
it out of the
best.
park.
Yes.
Yeah, he's amazing. We love Charlie.
Good dude.
What does Charlie do?
He was our producer.
Produced, directed, and
Yeah,
edited.
Yeah.
What a small world.
Yeah.
Very small world.
Crazy.
He stayed at my apartment while going back and I think like went to a because he lives in LA, but he's currently living in Paris. And
Right.
then while he was traveling to
nice.
Arizona for this, then he would come back to LA and was staying at my place while I was on tour.
Oh, I
Yeah,
love
small world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that. And Tony, what about you?
I am on Twitter and Instagram at
Tony Thaxton.
and Bizarre Albums every Tuesday, and that's about it. But let's see if we can get some Bentley noises in the mic here.
Oh.
He's usually very noisy, but of course, when
Just
I call for it,
kissing,
he's
I
not.
know.
Yeah.
Well, I heard a little bit.
Yeah.
I heard some lip licking. If you like what you're hearing, or even if you don't, please make sure you're subscribed. Leave us a review. I was looking at the reviews earlier, and I feel like we need some fresh reviews. You know that I read them on the show sometimes. So get those reviews in, and I will read them. 5 stars, please. And wherever you listen now, there's probably some way to like rate and review and whatnot. Listen to my other podcast, Childish. I'm on Cameo. Again, patreon.com/Allison Rosen. Also, patreon.com/Allison and Todd. Feel like I'm forgetting something, but I don't know what that is. So that is going to youtube.com/Allison Rosen. I had Sarah Edmondson from the Nexium Cult, HBO's The Vow, a little bit culty podcast, etc. on Monday. It was a really, really good episode. Keith Raniere had written her wedding vows, and she's like, "Do you want to hear them?" I was like, "Yes, please." She pulled up the email that had them. I mean, it was just, she really answered like all the details that you want, she answered. It was a really good episode. youtube.com/AllisonRosen. Please subscribe over there. You can watch the episode or just listen to it wherever you listen. That is going to do it. Everyone, thank you so much. Listeners, thank you for listening. I love you. You matter. Goodbye.
Hey, do you know about the Allison Rosen Show? We had a good time, but now we gotta go. Yeah, Allison Rosen is your new best friend.